I am a Japanese American and an Iraqi American. My dad, he was born in Wisconsin, but then one day when he was 5 years old, my grandparents sat him and his two sisters down, and they told them that they were moving to Iraq. So they moved to Iraq. Everything was normal, and one day when my dad turned 18, I believe, he had to join the Iraqi military. So they were pretty against it for sure. But you don't really say no to joining the Iraqi military. So my dad joined. One day, he's been in it for a little while, but they find out that my dad's troop or his group, I'm not really sure what it's called, but they were about to be heading out to the front lines, and Grandpa was like, no, I don't think so. So my grandpa, as a professor, he did have a lot of connections. So one of his former students was actually a kind of a secretary for somebody who worked for Saddam Hussein. And so he got in contact with her and asked her a big favor, because every year Saddam Hussein would do these big grand favors for certain people in Iraq just to make it seem like he cared. So my grandpa asked his former student, he's like, I need you to do whatever it takes to get me one of those few meetings. I need to get my son out of the military. The day comes and they put my grandpa in like a van or something, drive him to one of Saddam's big palaces, his secret palaces. You never know which one he's at. I think that my grandpa was like blindfolded. He didn't know where he was going, is the point. So he finally gets there. It's his turn. He goes in and he's sitting maybe 10 feet from Saddam Hussein. He just says whatever he needs to say to get my dad out of the military and out of Iraq, fighting for Iraq. So he's saying all these things like, oh, great, Saddam, is there any way for him to not be in the military so he can go to the United States, get a great education? And all of a sudden Saddam is like, stop. And so he brings the papers, signs it, my dad is out of the military. So once again, my grandpa had some connections. Another one of his former students just so happened to be working here at OSU, and that's how dad ended up here in Stillwater, Oklahoma.